what's up? It's Renee Misha. In this video, we're going to be checking out the Dbx 160a. It's a super fast compressor. It's really tight. It's fun. It has a lot of character. So let's check it out on bass and on kick drum. Now let's see how we like it. It doesn't work for everything, so let's find out. Bypass. This is with nothing. Okay, let's get started. We're going to turn it to a basic 2-to-1. Already extremely dramatic. Bypass. So I'm going to start with very, very light compression. Actually, right here is probably where I would leave it. I might end up leaving it right here. So let's see. Bypassed. Yeah. It's much more controlled. All right, let's turn up the compression a little bit. We're gonna go 3-to-1. Four to 1. And let's go to the extreme. Let's go like 10-to-1. Okay. And very extreme. Yeah, that's with bypass. And yeah, definitely has more punch. It's a lot tighter, but what I like about the Dbx 160a is it has really extreme settings. So let's check those out now. So this is bypass. I'm just going to keep slowly turning the compression up. 4-to-1 is pretty cool. And this isn't even as extreme as it goes yet. Pretty hardcore. Bypass. Let's put on over easy mode. Okay, cool. Back this down. I'm going to stick it to 4-to-1 right now. Let's check out the threshold. So this is with no compression. That's why we see no gain reduction there. I'm going to slowly turn it up. We're at a 4-to-1 ratio. Probably the easiest compressor to use. When we go settings this extreme, that's when we would go ahead and turn up the output gain. Because this is bypass. And this is very quiet, so you got that really tight 80s almost sound. Now I'm actually gonna set it to what I'll probably keep it at. So I would normally never use that much compression, maybe no more than like 4 dBs or so. Minus 4 dBs. I'm gonna stick somewhere in this range. So bypass. Obviously, we're not going to use that much compression. Yeah, you hear how much less controlled it is in bypass? I kind of want to keep it around here. So let's level match it. I'm going to turn up the gain levels to keep it around the same. This is before bypass. After. Actually, let's switch these settings up a little bit. I'm in bypass. Here we go. For this, I'm going to end up probably, for this song, I'm going to end up using a different compressor probably. We'll see. Might use the ADR, but kind of want to keep this simple. Before. After. I like it before better, so let's keep going. This drummer is going to need some serious EQ. I still like it better before. Bypass. On. You know what's happening? I usually would use a compressor like this if the drum is too small to make it sound bigger to expand it. This kick drum is already so big that it's actually expanding it with this compressor. Bypass. Back on. Before, after, let's turn it up. And see, that's like kind of messing with the tone a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to use the bigger compressor for this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use the bigger compressor for this. But this compressor can be really cool if you're working with a smaller drum, in my opinion. But it's one of those compressors, if it's going to work, it usually works right away. If it's going to work, it usually works right away. It's not usually one of those ones you have to fiddle around with too much. Obviously, we would never use that much compression. After, before. So I'm not going to use the Dbx 160a for this particular drum. I'm probably going to use the ADR for sure, which is a very vintage compressor equalizer, and that's what this drum is going to need. I actually kind of like the original drum, but we're going to make it a little bit smaller, tighter, clean up the tone a little bit. All right, let's check this out on bass though. Okay, I already like this better for the bass. Ooh, I like that right there. Let's turn up the output gain a little bit to match it before. Okay, I'm gonna end up probably using this on bass. Ooh, I like it. After. Now if we were going to go extreme, which we would never do this, but way cooler on bass. Before. After, way cool. All right, let's turn down the compression. Let's do 6:1 for fun. This is after, before. After, I like it. I think I'm gonna leave the bass right around here. Before. Adds a lot more character, I think. Now I'm gonna play with the threshold a little bit. So we're getting very little compression. Let's turn up a little bit. We gotta turn up the volume a little bit. Yeah, this is definitely adding something. It's definitely adding the character for this particular bass. The Dbx 160a does not always work on bass. Sometimes it's just like how it did with the kick drum. Sometimes it's just, depending on how the bass is recorded, it doesn't work. Sometimes it works out well. Before, after, we turn down the volume a little bit. I like to level match as close as possible most of the time so I can hear realistically what the compressor is doing. Something about right here I really like. Before. After. It's adding some space, some air, some dimension. Before. Yeah, it's definitely giving it some character. The character that I want this bass to have right now, so. Normally I wouldn't turn up the gain that much, but it's okay for right now. So this is going to be printed. I'm not going to add EQ at this time. So my final thoughts on the Dbx 160a, I don't think I would use it for this particular track for anything except for bass. So we're going to stick with this bass track. I'm going to go ahead and print it, and let's move on to the 80R vocal stressor for the kick drum and see if we can get a nice, cool, tight sound for that. Talk to you later. Please check out my other videos on mixing, mastering, music production, and have an awesome, amazing, fun rest of the day. Bye-bye.